Welcome to Paranormal Central, broadcasting live from Central California with your hosts Jeffrey Gonzalez and Alan Thomas. Broadcasting video worldwide at paranormalcentral.net and broadcasting audio on the Dark Matter Network at artbell.com. Are you ready to witness something that you cannot explain?
I'm looking for you, you're looking for me. We have to decide what it will be. Can it be true? Can I believe the unexplained? Look into the sky.
Hello everyone, my name is Jeffrey Gonzalez and you are now watching and listening to ParanormalCentral.net. I appreciate you being here today. My co-host Alan Thomas.
Hi everyone.
Manning the boards once again is Emerald Bonilla. Alright. Thank you for showing up tonight on a Sunday evening, wherever you may be. Appreciate you watching at ParanormalCentral.net or listening on the Dark Matter Network at artbell.com. And I'm going to say it again. We think that the audio is a lot better on the artbell.com website. So, what we advise you to do is mute us on live stream and listen on the artbell.com network. We have a lot of audio technical difficulties with live stream, and hopefully we're going to be doing something about it here in the near future. But right now, we're just moving right along, because something major is going to happen here pretty soon, we believe, that will take care of all of our problems. And I really believe in that. So, sit back. I hope you have something nice, cold or hot to drink, because for the next 2 hours we're going to try to blow you away and keep your like I said, you know, there's a lot of shows out there, mind you, and you know what, we're going to talk about that in a little bit, but they seem to talk about the same stuff over and over and over and over again, and I'm getting sick and tired of it, really. And I think what we provide here is new stuff that you've never heard before, and it's definitely showing on our website, on our counters. The responses that we're getting from all over the world after we were brought into the artbell.com network at Dark Matter, things are changing for us, and I think it's only for the better. A lot of things are happening for us, and I think you guys will understand, hopefully in about a month or two, where we're going to go from here. Because a lot of things are in the planning stages right now, and we're really excited. So, again, my name is Jeffrey Gonzalez. If this is your first time watching or listening to us, where in the heck have you been? We've been doing this for over 4 years now, and I appreciate you being here. So I hope this is not going to be your last time. What we talk about here is everything paranormal, not just one subject. Sometimes we have people that come on and we talk to them about books and authors and witnesses of certain events. But what we try to do here is we try to keep you informed with what happened last week. Not what happened in 1947, not what happened in 1980, not what happened in 1975, but what happened in March of 2014 that you have not heard yet. And that's what we're here, and that's what we're going to provide you with. So, all right, what we do, and that is part of our system here, is that we have two reporters that we have out in the field, one on the East Coast and one on the West Coast. The East Coast, he is our MUFON representative that provides us with up-to-date MUFON UFO reports that he thinks that you need to know about. They might be old and some might be new, depending on what he thinks you should be advised about. And then once we talk to him, we get on to our West Coast representative who provides us with a Squatch report on Bigfoot. And his name is Danny. So right now we're going to talk to Ken, and we're going to pull up Ken right now. Hey, Ken.
Yeah, who's this, Jeff?
Hey, how's it going, Ken? It's Jeff.
Hey, Pat, how you doing?
Good, man, good. All right, how you doing?
Yeah, not bad. I'm taking care of my mom. She's going to be going into a nursing home probably next week. So
okay.
She's 93 and still hanging in there.
Right on. That's good news. That's good news.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Okay, so I got your pictures. And for all those who are watching us on paranormalcentral.net, I'm going to be putting up photographs that Ken provided for us. And they are also on the artbell.com website right now. So, again, you don't have to be listening or watching the live stream. You can also be at the artbell.com website, and they're on the link there. They have links there, and you should say Paranormal Central UFOs. So either way, you're going to get them. So, all right, Ken, I got number one up right now. What are we talking about here?
Okay, yeah, these are two photos. As you can see, there seems to be some structure on these photos. They were pretty amazing. We had to enlarge them. They were, from what I understand, they were probably at approximately about between 500 and 1,000 feet. And of course, we had to enlarge them to make them a little bit more visible. But the two there, this was from Chevron Island on the Gold Coast of Australia, March 2014.
Oh, I heard about this one.
Short statement is the Chevron island local Jack Purcell was in the front yard with his mother and friends when they noticed the object. We were all just sitting out the front, and my mom pointed to the sky and said, "Look at the colorful plane flying over," Mr. Parcell said. Then it came to a sudden stop and was just hovering there. Residents are seen walking out onto the street to get a glimpse of the object while a police vehicle later stopped to observe. Mr. Parcell said the police officer had to call it in with a police helicopter later flying near the area. The police chopper would fly near, but when it would turn its lights off, then it would turn its lights off and disappear, he said. It was really strange. It was really high in the sky. And I don't know, this one was somebody mucking around, but I have no idea what it was, but I think it's a UFO, despite how crazy this might sound. So, this thing may have, I don't know if it was two objects or this thing was morphing into different shapes, but that's what he captured on his camera.
Right on. Cool deal. Yeah, very colorful, and I think there's a video out on this, isn't there?
I believe there is. Yes, there is.
I saw the video, and the lights are actually in circular motion around the out, and then they actually turn off and turn back on. And I actually saw this. It's on Facebook someplace, but yes.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, this was a MUFON case file, and anyone could just Google March 2004 Chevron Island, and a few things ought to pop up.
Cool deal. All right, go to number 3.
The other colorful photo there. Oh. That's a pretty neat shot of. I'm not quite sure what, but that was January 3rd, 2014, in Scottsdale, Arizona. Of course, they have a ton of sightings out there all the time. Brief statement is I became aware of it after my two daughters showed it to me and took me outside to the backyard that is directly facing Camelback Mountain. The unidentified presumed spacecraft was round in its appearance and had visible blue lights along the rounded shape. It was a challenge to make out much because the lights blurred from my vision. It was near the top of the mountain, just idling on the bed of rocks. My daughter and I did not witness it fly onto Camelback Mountain, nor saw it there. The first time I noticed the lights was January 3rd this year at night. It does seem odd, however, that during the lights on the mountain we had some kind of electrical interference. Our blue-hued pool lights kept turning on every evening without our knowledge. When we were viewing the UFO, the pool light would suddenly turn on and off. I think it might have been a malfunction, however. Even when we manually turned the light switch off, a few minutes later it would turn back on. We think it may have been communicating with us, or he said it was communicating with possibly this thing flying at thing at Camelback Mountain there. So, that's what they captured. with the guy's camera.
Really cool. Different colors. Was there a video, or did they just take photographs?
Not, believe it, just photos of it.
Just photos? Awesome. Right.
So what I can do is if you want, if I come across it, the only problem with videos, Jeff, is 99% of them are really pretty bad. You know, they're it's hard to make out what they're trying to show you.
Right.
And it's very rare that I come across a really good video. Could you guys post videos on your site also?
Yeah, we can. So yeah, if you do get a video, go ahead and send them our way. If we can't play it here, you know, we can definitely put it up on the artbell.com website, and they'll have it on there for sure. So we know their site works 100%. So yeah, send it over.
Okay, if I come across anything real good, I'll let you know about it.
Okay, awesome. All right, let's go to number 4.
Yeah, that photo there, it kind of looks like a stingray. There is some structure there. I can see it myself. But this was March 12th, 2014 in Elliott City, Maryland. Brief statement is I rolled over and there was a large, very large star-like object as big or larger than Venus or Jupiter. Every amateur astronomer with even a 70-power scope knows how fast the moon and stars are moving up there. You have to keep adjusting your telescope constantly on the object, or it drips right out of your field of view in a few seconds. Knowing this, I positioned my view so that the bright object was against the window frame and waited. The object did not move for 10 minutes. After that, the angle started to increase from 45 to around 50 degrees, which was the opposite direction from the moon, which was visible and which decreased its angle during the time the bright object was both stationary and moving in a retrograde motion from Earth's rotation. I determined then to get my Nikon D7100 camera to do a telescopic long exposure shot, sort of thinking aloud. If you don't want me to photograph you, you can leave before I get back with my camera. It did not leave. I held the camera against a glass and window frame and took the shot. The camera automatically did a 2 to 3 second exposure. So he didn't have a tripod, but he was smart enough to lean up against something so he can get a shot without too much motion, handshaking motion. So it was pretty incredible shot he got out of it.
Right on. Very good shot. Yeah, I definitely see a structure there, stingray possibly, big time.
Yeah, I had to crop that one, and bring it a little bit, make it a little bit bigger. And of course, sometimes it loses its clarity. But this one, he must have had some megapixels on his camera here, so it came out pretty good.
Right on. All right,
really good.
Number 5.
Yeah, the last one here. This was really weird.
Wow.
This is a MUFON case file, March 7th, 2014 in Lansdale, Pennsylvania. John Ventry, I guess his boys will be investigating this one out there in Pennsylvania. But the brief statement is, I came outside my apartment to have a cigarette, then I looked up and saw it about 700 feet in front of me, as high as a tree line. I immediately knew it was a real UFO, and I ran towards it. It descended fast down behind the apartment building across from mine that is 2 stories high. It fluttered and had so many bright flashing lights. I ran over to see where it landed. Then I had my head turned right to where it would have been, but it popped up really quick above the building at the other end. It saw me and started coming closer and closer to me at a slow pace. It was right above my head, about 500 feet above me. I walked backwards. Back into the court where my building is, and I stopped back in the same place it was before it descended. It flashed really bright and then dimmed and descended again. Then I ran over to see it again. It was gone. The security saw it and was chasing it with their truck.
Oh, really?
So I really can't really seem... I'm not sure what this is. It's just one of the strangest UFOs I've seen.
When you have security personnel chasing it and other people chasing it too, that is an awesome sighting there. That's very cool.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
That's about it right now. If I come up with any good videos or any more great shots, I'll present them next week.
Right on. And all 5 of these pictures that we saw were all in the March of 2014, right? I mean, they were all this month.
Yeah, there was one January. Yeah,
January,
yeah,
but
this year.
see,
this year,
and
1 January. Yeah,
right,
but,
and that's what we're trying to get at here, you guys who are listening and watching us out there. We're giving you stuff that just happened recently. Okay, this is again, we're not giving you Roswell. We're not giving you anything that happened 20 years ago, 30 years ago. Yeah, so
oh my God,
Rendlesham again. So keep listening to us, keep watching us, and we're going to be giving you the best stuff there is out there. And I appreciate it, Ken. Ken is a representative from MUFON, and his links are on our website at paranormalcentral.net. He has literally thousands and thousands of very cool pictures that you can go to his links and check them out. And again, there is a link on paranormalcentral.net, and it's a link that says reporters, right? Alan was the one who...
I can't remember. But I think it's reporters.
I think it's reporters.
And it has Danny and it has Ken.
So like I said, Ken has the links are on. Go ahead and give us your websites again one more time, Ken.
Yeah, well, my largest in the world for UFO photos. It's worldufophotos.org, and my news website is worldufophotosannews.org. So I got over 1,000 articles on that one, and over I guess 6,500 photos right now on my main website. So if you get a chance, check them out.
Right on. All right, Ken. Thank you very much, and we'll talk to you next week. Okay.
Take care, Ken.
Okay, hey Alan, yeah, you and Jeff, you guys have a good week, and yeah, thanks for having me on.
No problem, man. Take care. See ya.
Okay.
Bye. All right, now we're going to get a hold of Mr. Danny Valderrama on the Squatch Report. He is a little pooped. Why? He just got back from Vegas, that dingbat. He went to the Monster Jams World Finals of the 2014, and he was out there with his family and for 3 days checking out the monster truck races, and he actually sent back some cool pictures and videos and stuff that we posted on our website. But it said some good stuff. Actually, I took my son to the monster truck at the Save Mart Center last week. So, all right, Danny.
Hello.
Are you awake?
I'm awake.
How many hours did you get to sleep? What time did you get in?
We got in around 9:30.
And what time do you leave?
And we left at 3:45 in the morning. Just to beat all the traffic.
Right.
We hate sitting in that stupid traffic.
Right. So, okay. I have your pictures. We're going to go with Bigfoot number 1, and that is some cast on a toolbox. What do we see here?
This is an update, actually, on you remember back a little while ago, we did a report on Robert Kreider from New Mexico. And he had the casts that were on a creek in the middle of winter, and they also had the scat pictures.
Oh, I think so. I think I remember that one.
Yeah, and people got grossed out when you posted those pictures.
Right.
You've been tracking these 5 individuals for the last 2 years, and he finally went up to get his game cameras after 7 weeks. This was on March 17th. These were the casts that he made. He went up to get his game cameras, and they'd only triggered like once. But on the way up to get his game cameras, he came across over 70 footprints. 3 individuals.
Wow, that's
up to the game camera, but around it. They didn't go near it.
Right. So they were pretty aware of that game camera, and they were staying pretty far away.
Yeah.
They are smart. They are smart. Did they give the dimensions on these footprints?
Yeah, the 2 of them he recognized. One was 10.5 inches long, and it had grown about 3 1/4 inches since January. And the infant that he had the first time was walking on his knuckles at all fours. He was walking on all fours, so you consider him an infant. His footprints were 6.5 feet, and they had grown 1/2 inch since January. Wow. And there's no more knuckles with him, so he's learned how to walk.
He learned how to walk. Isn't that incredible how he's doing that? See, that's smart. That's very smart. That is a true investigator right there, how he's tracking.
So they crawl before they walk. That's cool.
Yep.
Wow. That's awesome. All right, let's go to...
The third subject, he was considered the babysitter. He hadn't seen these tracks before, and like they were trying to remain hidden. But now that these guys, they're not having to care for these guys anymore because they're getting bigger.
Right.
They can see their tracks now. This one was 11 1/4 inches. Now these pictures of these tracks look pretty human. I mean,
yeah, they do.
Because they have an arch on them.
Yeah.
And they're saying that the Bigfoot tracks usually, but that's usually when they're big.
Right.
These are pretty much normal size.
I see what you're saying. And again,
I don't know. He might be.
And again, where is this guy at again?
Yeah, he's on a riverbed, in a hidden, secluded area.
Okay.
And some of the pictures that I showed last time had a big white box on them, and those are like landmarks. So he blurred those out so nobody would know where he was going. The other ones were taken at 31. It was below 32 degrees, and he was getting tracks overnight on this riverbed.
Wow. See, and people, you're going, well, there are a bunch of kids walking around the river, but, when these investigators, wherever they go very high up, very secluded areas. There's no campgrounds around. There's no people around, and then you have a lot of bare footprints like this. It's and then you would think, okay, if that was the case, that these families there should have been pictures of these families walking around if they were humans, but no, they're not. I mean, because the Bigfoots know these game cameras and they're aware of them and they keep out of sight of them. I mean, it's just simple as that. So,
and humans, if they saw a game camera, they wouldn't walk around it. I mean,
no.
What happened to ours? They were stolen.
Yeah, they were stolen, or they would go in front of the camera, depending if it's really tied down really well with a lock and chain, and they would probably make funny faces at it and and all that kind of stuff. But that's not the case here. So you have to use common sense and think about what we just said, and don't say it's regular human beings running around barefoot up there, because it isn't. They are not. I mean, it's simple as that. So, okay. All right.
These were found in sand and clay, and he tried to duplicate them, and he couldn't penetrate it even halfway down.
Oh, because of the weight, huh? I can see that they're pretty deep, so they're probably pretty heavy.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's been researching these guys for 2 years. He's got a brief clip of them on thermal. He's got 13 hours of audio, and he says one includes a male killing a dog while the female and the youth are heard screaming in the background.
Wow.
He's been, at least he's documenting everything.
Yeah, he is. That's awesome. Okay, let's go to number 3.
This is an old report that keeps coming up, so I thought I'd share it with the viewers. This is from 2009.
Okay, now I just want to make sure that we're looking at the same photograph. It's the man walking in a stride and measuring it, right?
Well, that was Robert Kreider. He was showing that it couldn't be a human because of the stride line.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't know that this was part of the cast. So,
the
okay.
first 3 were for him.
Got it. Okay, so what we're looking at here is where he took the the cast of those footprints, and what he's doing is mimicking the stride of one of the individuals that made the footprints. And as you can see, humans don't walk like that. Okay.
It would hurt.
Yeah, it would hurt a lot. So that makes sense. All right, that's awesome. Okay, I'm glad you mentioned that. Okay, let's go to number 4. All right, we got a picture up of a Bigfoot. Oh, we think it's a Bigfoot, and I've seen this photograph before. So go ahead and fill us in.
This is from Temagami, Ontario, Canada.
I'm sorry. Okay. All right. Hold on. Let me go back to the stride. I had it on the wrong screen. My mistake. Let me show everybody the stride real quick. Hold on. Okay, I was getting too excited here. All right, now I have it up on the screen, and we're showing the stride of the investigator of the cast that he took. And he's mimicking on the length of the stride, and it looks like he has a ruler at the very bottom. And I'm thinking that's probably 6 foot, 7 foot stride. So we're talking very large Bigfoot. So, okay, now I'm going to go ahead and get out of this one, and I'm going to go to Bigfoot number 4. And I've seen this photograph before now. It's the Ontario Wildlife Field Research. So go ahead and tell us about this.
Yeah, it's Ontario Wildlife Field Research. The investigative reporter was Timothy Burvick. And this is from Temagami, Ontario, Canada, taken on April 15, 2009. And this was taken by an elderly couple on their cabin that's on a small lake just outside of Lady Evelyn Sweetwater Park. And the witnesses' names were withheld, his name was. Her name is Jean Hybert. She says about 2:39 on April 15th, she went out to her back window and opened them up and saw a large, hairy, upright creature up on the hill about 50 to 70 yards away. And she could see this thing was massive, so she called her husband. Her husband grabbed his camera and went out back. And he he said when he was running out there, he looked down at his camera real quick, but he could see the large creature up on the hill. It froze when it saw him. So he took 2 pictures, and then his camera said that his memory card was full.
Oh, I hate when that happens.
He looked down to start deleting pictures, and when he looked back up, it was gone.
Oh, God. You imagine?
So he kept deleting pictures, and he kept looking around for about 15 minutes, and showed up again behind a tree, peeking at him.
No way.
So that's the 3rd picture.
Okay, hold me go to that picture now. And that is, okay, there it is. Let me zoom in on that. Hold on. Zoom in right there. Okay, and I don't know if you guys can see it, but I see it right there. I'm going to go ahead and circle it with my pointer. Okay, go ahead, Danny.
He said it was about 10 feet tall. It was massive, probably twice the size that he was. And that night, after they took these pictures, the screens were pushed in on their windows, and some were torn off. And they reported it to several agencies in the area. The game wardens and several biologists came out to stay at their cabin with them. And they had to leave, so they left, and the biologists stayed on. But there was no report of what they found after they left.
Wow. Okay, so you're saying that the actual campers had to leave and the scientists stayed behind?
Yeah, the couple that owned the cabin
had to leave.
Had to leave.
Oh,
but they let the
big mistake.
The game warden and the biologists stay there.
Big mistake. Like if they're going to tell them what they found.
Well, we found nothing.
Absolutely, there was nothing. It was a bear. It was a bear. Oh, God, I hate when that happens. These are
incredible pictures. These are probably some of the clearest pictures I've seen.
You're absolutely right on that one.
Some people say that they look like movie pictures or something like that. Because they're so clear.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
These guys went out and investigated the original pics. They looked at the card, the memory card, and they were saying that they are genuine.
Wow.
They were not photoshopped. They're still on the card, and the witnesses are in their 70s. But this wasn't the only incidents they had up there. Now, because they didn't put the other 2 together, but after they saw this, they started to wonder. You know, in 2010, they did sell the cabin because his wife no longer felt safe going up to the cabin.
Wow.
And they think it might have been torn down.
The cabin?
Yeah, they think after they sold it, it might have been torn down.
So whoever bought it, government officials bought it and decided to tear it down so that way because they know what's up there.
Yeah,
makes sense. God, I hate.
In 2004, they were awoken at 2 a.m. by ground thud, and it sounded like something was slamming a boulder to the ground, and it was shaking their entire landscape. And this happened for about 20 minutes. Then after the 20 minutes, they heard trees cracking about 150 yards away. And they just made a pot of coffee and stayed up all night.
Yeah, with the gun on your lap. Oh, my God. That's awesome.
In 2006, they rented the cabin out to some hunters. And the hunters reported back to them that the whole time 2 black helicopters were flying low and circling their area.
No way.
They said it wasn't game warden.
Wow.
Well,
now, that was the first time that no moose tags were given out.
Wow.
During hunting season.
See, that tells you right there that our military personnel know about this, and they are in the areas where the sightings are definitely in abundance of, because you know as well as I know, Danny, that our military down here in Fresno, I believe, are aware of what's going on in the Sierras, and there's black helicopters circling and the whole, I believe it. Yep, totally believe it, 100%. So very cool.
About 2 years before they got the pictures in 2007, on the way up to their cabin, they had 3 large boulders that were placed on the road. That sounds familiar.
Yes, it does. Boulders, trees.
Some were so big that they went up to the door of the truck, and the other one went up to the bumper. And they tried to move them away. 2 of them were moved away, and one of them still remains, and cars are still having to drive around it to get up there.
Very cool. Very cool indeed. Okay.
Those are great pictures.
Yes, they are. Awesome pictures. All right, let's go to what we at, number 6.
This all should be the same picture.
Okay. So this is actually one at a distance. The other one with the close-up. but this one.
I mean, positioned differently.
I mean, you look at this photograph that we're looking at right now, and you're saying that's a movie. That's from a movie because they're so good. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on it so that way the people at home can really get what we're talking about. But that's some good stuff,
He said it froze and it stood there for about 5 minutes without moving, and that's why he was able to get these pictures of it. But when he looked down, it took off.
And that's what, and I think, on their corner of the eyesight is when they're looking at you. And remember, we've talked about that if you're looking at an object and you think it's a Bigfoot, but it's standing so still, and then as soon as you look away, it sees that you look away, and boom, they're gone, just like that.
Yeah, it could be that they travel in pairs, and the other ones, as soon as you look away, the other one makes a noise, signaling to this one to take off.
That is such a good photograph. And at the time, too, when it came out, a lot of people say it's a hoax. It's fake. It's a hoax. It's a movie prop. It's for a movie coming out. But neither nor.
It was never debunked. Some people were saying that it was debunked, but the investigator came on and he was defending his pictures, saying, no, we've been out there. We've talked to them. I talk to them all the time. They're a genuine couple. They're real. Wow. These pictures we checked, they are what they are.
Very cool.
Looks just like a gorilla. It really does. Except
the matted hair. And I mean, it would be really cool if somebody could actually walk up to the same spot where that creature is at right now and take a photograph and see how tall and how big it was. That would be awesome.
Yeah, because this is just, height is kind of hard to
it is. It is. Yep. So you don't know. And, as far as we know, that thing could be 12 foot tall, as far as we know. Yeah. Wow.
Hey, Danny, did you see the, just for like a brief hour, I had, what's that guy, Survivor Man? And he had 3 videos up of him.
No, I wanted to see those.
Yeah, and I had him up, and I watched the whole show. It was really good. It left you hanging in the third one.
I saw you posted them, but I didn't have a chance to watch them. I was running around.
Oh man! And then an hour later, everybody was messaging me saying, "Hey, they took the videos down," and then I didn't have it anymore.
Oh, so somebody put them up by accident then, or not?
No, they did it on purpose. Put them up, and then YouTube took them down. But
like copyrighted material.
I think Candy Sasquatch is going to load them up. She's recording it on, from her DVR onto a DVD, and then uploading it to her computer. And she's got, I think, it was in 3 parts. So part 1, part 2, part 3, and she has 3 and 2 on her site right now. If you want to watch them, and number 3 is the best one.
Oh, cool!
And then it actually leaves you hanging. He says, he's going to go out there. He's hanging with what's his name, Todd Standings.
Todd Standings.
Yeah, that's who he had as his expert, and everybody thinks he's a fake, but I don't know. He sounded legit to me, and he with Les Shroud or whatever his name is. But they get out there, and then he says, "Okay, now I'm going to go out. The only way to really do this is go out by myself and." Leave things out there and call them in, and he went down in a little bowl of a valley, and he said normally he would not make himself that vulnerable. He would keep the high ground. But Todd Standings told him, you got to give up the high ground and go down in the valley, make yourself vulnerable, and then they'll come in. So he didn't like it, and he went over there, and he goes, bears and everything, they love it when you take the low ground like that, because then they have, they can get you. He goes, but for, Bigfoot, I'll do it. So he was setting up his camp, and then it was the end of the show, and next week, you got to wait.
Yeah, part 2 next week.
Yeah. Got it.
And this is the same area that Dr. Jeffrey Meldrum had his first sighting.
Right, exactly. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting.
He and John Bendernagel were down there.
Interesting. So, very cool. All right. Danny, I was just watching Bigfoot evidence. Sean just posted up on Facebook from Sunday, March 23rd, which is it's from a new sighting, Redwood National Park Bigfoot roar caught on video.
Roar.
Did you see that?
Did you listen to it? I saw that right when you were coming on.
Dude. Oh my God. Okay, we're gonna let everybody hear this. You're gonna freak out. I don't know if you're gonna be able to hear it as well as we are, but it's the same roar that we got.
Yeah, it's identical.
So, okay, what this is, you guys, and everybody who's watching and listening right now, some guy in Northern California, the Redwoods National Park, got something on audio. And this is exactly what we got just east of Fresno up in the forest area of Badger. I'm going to play it for you guys. So here we go. Listen up.
I just heard it again. And I'm pretty sure it's a mountain lion screaming. It's pretty horrible.
Oops, hold on.
Pretty horrible.
Okay, here it goes.
Pretty scary.
Okay, here it goes. That was the end of that. Oh, I'm sorry. I had it at the very end, so I'm going to play it right now. Hold on.
Holy shit. Do you guys hear that? Let me try and get it on. I just heard the most ungodly howl.
Here we go.
I just heard the most ungodly howl. Ooh. Oh.
Did you hear that?
Oh.
Couldn't hear it.
I heard
No.
that.
I'll go listen to my headphones.
Yeah, you'll have to go listen to it on it. So that's the same thing we heard. Let me stop it. Okay,
Nice.
but it's very nice. It's identical. So, all right, Danny.
Hey, one last thing.
Yeah.
When I was in Las Vegas, one of the first things I saw was we're passing the airport.
Oh, that's right. What'd you say?
A Janet plane landing.
A Janet plane landing. And where do those Janet planes are coming from?
Janet planes go to Area 51.
That's right, people.
It was all white with a red stripe on it.
That's right.
It went right over our car. We were just all looking at it, and nobody took a picture of it. No!
See, I would have, whoever in your passenger side, I would have said, take the wheel. I would have put my head out the freaking window, and I would have started taking photographs. You were so fired.
They didn't understand the significance of it. They were looking it up to verify what I was telling them, and they saw it on there. Wow!
Very cool. That is, and that's about right, because you saw it probably right around 5 o'clock, 5:30, huh?
Yeah, just before 5.
Just before 5, so that's the time when the workers are leaving Area 51 and they're coming home. Yep. Right. Awesome.
Lucky guy.
So awesome, dude. All right. All right. I guess we'll talk to you this week sometime, and keep us informed. Thanks, Danny.
Later, Danny.
We'll see you guys.
See ya. Bye.
Man, how lucky. I've been to Vegas so many times and sat there and waited, and
Well,
I never saw nothing.
You have to get there, like you said. They probably take off at 4:30 because they're still on the clock. And as they get into to the Las Vegas McCarran Airport, it's at 5 o'clock exactly. It's when they're getting off and going home. So I'm thinking if you want to see the planes take off, get there at about 7:30. I'm thinking 7 o'clock, and you will see them take off with the workers.
There at 4:30 in the morning and then just sit there.
Oh my God!
So I was in a hotel where I could see them taking off, and I sat there all day from like night. Early morning until night, and I never saw one take off. Maybe it was because it was Saturday.
I was going to say the weekend. Yep, that's exactly what it was. You were on the wrong day.
But I've been sitting there with my camera, man, I'm going to get them, and never saw them.
Nope, you're on the wrong day.
Wow.
So, all right. Thank you very much for Ken and Danny for giving us the updates on the Squatch report and UFOs that happened just recently. And again, that's what we're doing here, guys. We are giving you up-to-date, recent UFO activity, recent Bigfoot activity that you will not get anywhere else, because they don't have what we have, and that's the proper connections to get you this type of information. So stick with us, and we've only just begun, if you know the song. Sing it with me. No, just kidding. Hold on. All right. Okay, I got a list here of stuff I want to talk about. Tonight is going to be basically open line Sunday. Okay, whatever. And if you have something that you want to call us and talk about, whether it's about ghosts or UFOs or Bigfoot, or if you want to just chew us out and say we suck, by all means, let me give you the phone number for that. Area code 559-287-8367. That is our 24-hour paranormal hotline. Again, 559-287-8367. If you have had a recent sighting of a UFO that you want to talk to us about, or just have a question, by all means, go ahead and call us right now. Emerald is manning the phones, or I should say wombing the phones, and we will pull you up and talk to you if you want. So, but right now, what I'm going to do is I wrote down a list of stuff that I want to talk about. For example, the number one thing that right now is on the top of everybody's mind is the missing plane, the Malaysian missing airplane. What happened to it? Where is it? There's so many theories out there, and you know what? I want to bring in Alan and Emerald in this one, and let's talk about what they think happened to this airplane. You know, I have my theories, and it's considered conspiracy theory as well. You know, I'm not saying that a UFO mothership got it or anything like that. I have a feeling. I think I know what happened. But let's go with Emerald. What do you think?
I've heard so much stuff either way, paranormal or government conspiracy. I don't know, because I mean, every time something bad happens like this, there's always something that needs to be covered up. I don't know. And then
so you have no idea?
What's on the news, every single channel is the plane.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay, well,
it's taken away from...
Obama has called for sanctions against Russia,
okay,
and Putin has called for sanctions against the United States.
Right.
But that's not being publicized. It's all the plane.
It's all the plane.
Which is sad. And then there's also a thing, if you look on the internet, on MSN, the homepage, they're not giving any answers to the family. Like, all the families are pissed off because no one has any idea. No one has
a clue, which is kind of weird if you really think about it. Alan, what do you think?
Well, I know some people that are in the Air Force, and I've talked to them about this, and some of them are on Facebook, and they all are saying the very same thing. Like, one of them worked on a carrier, a couple of them work in Lemoore.
Jesse James.
Yeah, Jesse James, he's one of them. They all said the same thing, that if this thing went down, they could find it within days. And there's no reason why they can't find this. The pinger should be pinging, even at the bottom of the ocean. They had submarines and also airplanes that look for submarines flying around for a week and a half that could identify anything down there, even submarines. I mean, they could pick up the sound of a motor, and, so they're not finding it. I think it's pretty much gone. I'm thinking maybe it hit like a portal and portaled out, or they blew it smithereens and picked up the pieces when it was over the land.
Well, they're also saying that one of the pilots was suicidal. So I mean, there's so much,
right?
So many theories. I mean, you don't know.
The only thing was the phones, though.
Right.
Yeah, the phones are still ringing.
Well, let's talk about the phones. And I'm not trying to. I'm trying to give some.
Oh, there's one thing. Okay, there's on Facebook. Somebody's got a post, and it shows the Malaysia plane crashed in Vietnam or something like that. Don't click on it.
Oh,
it's malware. As soon as you click on it, you got a virus or a keylogger on your Facebook, and they'll break in your Facebook page, steal everything. So if you see Malaysian Airlines crash in Vietnam. Do not click on it.
So right now, I would not even click on anything that they found the plane. They found the plane. Don't click on it unless it's from a reputable news source, and really they're not reputable. But CNN, Fox, or MSNBC, or anything like that, then go ahead and click. But don't click. They found the plane, or it's nonsense until you really get the word, and then every single network will be carrying this information. But okay, my theory. Oh boy.
Only if you see what's the little dude on what was that show? He was always like, the plane. That's the only way they'll find it, is if they have that guy.
Granted, we do have the Bermuda Triangle, and we do have other triangles out in that area. You might have something that could have gone into a portal, a different dimension. What scares me is that a government, this particular airplane has been hijacked.
That is,
and that when everybody was saying that the families were calling the phones of their loved ones, and they were ringing. Well, I'm going to say something, and I hope I don't offend anybody, but let's say they took all the people down off this plane, and they basically shot everybody right there on the spot. And if they had phones on them, well, then obviously the phones are still going to be ringing. And they have the plane someplace. Now, granted, though, our governments must know about that plane. You would think if it's on a runway someplace, we know where it's at. And maybe we do know where it's at right now. And I'm hoping that it's not the case to where they're going to use that plane, or the government or the New World Order is going to use that plane for a false flag type of situation. And what I mean by that is they can just put a nuclear weapon on that sucker, fly it over the United States or fly it over Russia or wherever, let it go, blow it up, and the grid's going to go down, and we're going to lose power. That's what scares me. I mean, they can actually use that airplane, but our military, they know they are aware of every single airplane that's flying up there right now. I guarantee it. So if they see an airplane that's not supposed to be where it's at, then I would really hope that they're going to shoot that sucker out of the sky before it gets to the United States. And I think that would be the case. So we can go any which way here. I mean, you guys remember the TV show Lost, okay? It's in a different dimension, different portal. A mothership could have intercepted the airplane. I don't know. But it's very weird that they can't find a single piece of it. And that's what's blowing me away right now.
According to my friends in the Air Force, impossible.
Impossible.
That's why I say they either time traveled that thing, or it went into some black hole thing, or it went through a time warp. I mean, it's not there.
It's not there. It's gone.
Like what was where you guys had one on your wall, and everybody was talking about what happened to the people. The phones are ringing. They could have a pile of phones right there and just shot everybody and shut that thing off. Right. And it could have been the two Americans on the plane that actually went and made sure that pinger doesn't ping and all that. Had knowledge of it.
Now there was 20 Chinese or 20 Americans on there from the Department of Defense.
I heard about 30.
About 30? Okay, yeah. It was about 20 or 30 that were in the area of inventing what was that? Cloaking or type of situation for airplanes, which is kind of weird. All of a sudden this plane disappears and they were on that. Okay, was it maybe that they were part of this, whatever they were doing? I don't know. It's just kind of weird that they were on the same plane that disappeared and you can't find it. So there, it's scary to me though that they can't find this plane. I don't know, man.
Yeah, like they could use it for an imp later.
They can an EMP blast.
Maybe they'll use it on Russia.
Well,
I like Russia.
But see, that would scare me because we could use it on Russia. Russia could think it's us, and then they can end up shooting a nuclear weapon this way, and then that's the end of that. So they could, somebody could definitely use that plane and start World War III with it.
Yeah, they could. Yeah.
That could be the
beginning. It could hold a lot of stuff. I know that.
They could use that plane to start World War III, and that's scary, guys. That's really scary to think about that.
That's interesting that you say that.
So, again, a false flag. That starting World War III is a false flag.
So a person in chat says a UFO could shut down everything, even the pinger. If it flew over it and got too close, it would shut down all the electronics. That's known. It happens in cars and planes all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So it could have been picked up by the mothership.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because if it would have done it, if it would have fell on the ground or went to the ocean, they would have found it.
Yeah.
That's absolutely.
Even at the bottom of the airplane, when it crashes, depending on the hit, it's going to break apart, and all the cushions and anything in the luggage and in the cargo are going to rise up, and it's going to float to the very top. As a matter of fact, they were even talking about a recent airplane disaster that they couldn't find for a while, and all of a sudden the pieces started coming up shore someplace. So you're right. There should be pieces on top of the water someplace, and we should be able to find it. Now, what I think might happen, and I even posted this on my Facebook wall, and my theory that maybe we do know what happened to it, and it went, a UFO got it, or another dimension, or whatever, and we're going to plant some pieces someplace, and we're going to say, okay, we found the airplane, but no people are going to be found, and they're going to leave it at that.
Well, I've been doing this week. It's been really a busy week for me, like in the daytime, because of how busy we were up to our show stuff, and then because I put my whole life and everybody at my house's life on hold while we did that stuff. But then now this week and last week they just ran me to death, So at night I'm like looking this stuff up, and actually started with that airplane. And then it went to, that maybe it went in like a UFO, picked it up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then that led me into the UFO world. And it seems like the UFO thing is really picking up. I mean, a lot of UFO sightings like crazy. I mean, the ISS is picking up UFOs, and then they're talking about shutting the live feed down because...
That's what I want to talk about next. That's good.
Okay.
That's good.
Well, they're going to shut it down. Mm-hmm. It's because they picked up these hundreds of orbs that it doesn't really look like they came out of space. It actually looks like they came out of a portal. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, I was telling Jeffrey before the show, people have been coming to me with these dreams, like a million dreams, and some of them have this alien thing to where the aliens are going to come, and that's going to be there's going to be a big reveal, and they're coming to save us, right? They're going to come and save us, and they're going to get a one world religion and a one world banking system, and they're coming to like give us free energy and all this stuff and make everything really cool. And one of the things that they have, somebody died here this last week or so that is into the UFO thing.
Dr. Lear.
Yeah, and rest in peace, Dr. Lear. You did a lot of good stuff for the UFO world. I mean, I respected that guy, and he was just starting to do a lot of good stuff, and then he's gone. Kind of weird, but he is. I mean, I know he was old, but then he was taking out these implants out of people, right? And all the things, all this stuff, starting with the airplane, and then, the theories of it going into the UFO mothership thing, and then that leads to the ISS with all these ships coming out of some portal, and then all these sightings all around. And we just saw at the beginning of our show how many. And they were all this month, and one in January. I mean,
there's so many though. He just posted up only 5 because that's the only time we give them.
Well, when I saw the John Lear thing, he was talking about he pulled like 16 of these implants out of people, and the guy interviewing him asked him, "What are the implants for? What are they doing?" And he said they're changing their DNA. Okay, the implant is changing the DNA.
How does Dr. Lear know that?
After all the tests and everything they did on these people, they were trying to figure out what it was doing.
Okay.
And they did a bunch of DNA tests and nuclear DNA tests, and they realized these things were changing the people's DNA. Okay. And then he's like, well, what is it? It changes the junk DNA. What everybody calls junk DNA. Now, when that thing gets in there, it's not junk DNA anymore. Now, he thought, and it was right before he died, right before, he said that it was going to change your DNA to live 500 years or more. And it was like, wow, and now I'm not done researching this. It just, you know how it is when you get on the internet and there's a lot of crap. You know what I mean? You go through, I might go through like 30 different websites before I find real, credible kind of sources and stuff. And it takes me a long time to filter. And then even some of the stuff I might think is real still might be crap. But only a lot of it starts to make sense when you think about back a long time ago they talked about, because I actually believe these UFO guys have been here a long, long time, and they might be the reason there was a flood and the whole thing, and I won't get into that because it's a long story, but just to say that the humans lived 900 years back then. And they're talking about now where they're going to do that, and everybody's going to line up to get this thing because you will live for a long time, and all it's about is like enslaving and hurting people. Like now they can torture you for 500 years for for their enjoyment or whatever.
You think people are actually just gonna sit there and let that happen though? We have movies about this already. Like, I don't know if you've seen District 9 now. That was a good one. But you can have people, even if they're good, the quote unquote good aliens, you're not gonna have people sitting there and taking anything from
What's gonna happen though is, think about right now, in America alone, 95 million people, all right, are out of work and are living off the government. And when I say living off the government, you're talking food stamps and help, welfare.
Okay, but you're going like it's a bad thing.
No. But let's say that if these aliens do come down and they say, if you don't take that implant, then you will not get food. And
right, you're not in the system.
Not in the system anymore.
So you think they're going to collaborate with the government about this?
Maybe they're already
running the government.
Yeah.
All the research I've found, they're running our government and have been probably for 3,000 years.
They want to get rid of, and I played it last week and you saw it, the revolution. 70% of the population are going to die off. The strong ones are going to live to start over again. Well, that's exactly what they're thinking at this point. Now, how are they going to do it? I don't know. And let's continue. Let's talk about that. San Francisco, I'm going towards fluoride, all right? San Francisco has now banned bottled water.
Yeah, but that's the only one you can drink without fluoride.
Okay. Well, let's think about that. If you can't buy bottled water, where are you going to get your water from?
Tap, yeah.
Okay, tap. Or if you have money, you're going to go and purchase the filter systems for your water, if you have the money. And those are the strong, those are the high-up people who can afford that. The low people are basically going to drink it out of the tap. Well, who knows what they're going to put in that tap water, all right, the fluoride, and who knows what other type of chemical, all right? So let's think about that. They're right there. They're going to take control. They're taking control of you.
Right. Yeah.
They are.
And they tell you, like she was saying, in the movies, they're telling you. They're absolutely telling you in the movies. I don't know how many, music videos that, I would click on the link and it would go to a music video of the Illuminati and everybody doing these things.
Right.
And the eye, where they would go like this with one eye. And, I mean, it was, and they were saying, "Oh, that's just Jay-Z, and what's his name? That's the name of his
record company."
His record company,
right?
But only then, you know, it was like everybody doing it, and it started with Anthony and LaVey and all these weird. I mean, it started a long time ago. I mean, they went. Some of these videos would go back to the 50s, and people making these signs and stuff.
Right.
And so they've been doing this for, and I think it's all malevolent. I think they do want to kill you.
I think
again, want you to drink the tap water.
Again, they want the weak, the non-informed, and to die off. They don't care about you guys who are listening to this show right now. Who are, you know, unfortunately, they don't want those type of people around anymore. They want to start over. And there are hints that are happening right now, like little tiny hints. Like, for example, what we just played for you last week on The Revolution, the movie. You know, the organic foods, Monsanto, the fluoride in your water. Oh, now we're going to ban bottled water in San Francisco. So, and then from there on, it's probably going to spread.
And you can't garden. I mean, they haven't enforced that one yet. You can't garden. There's a law saying you can't have a garden.
Right.
That was only in the front yard, and you can't sell from it.
You can't sell from it.
You could have one in your backyard right now. We'll see how long that lasts.
For how long that lasts, right.
But it's just the front yard right now.
Yeah. Little by little, guys.
Little bit.
Little by little.
Everybody go get your gun permit.
Well, you know what? Again, why are they pushing the gun permit? Okay, well, guess what, guys? They are now going to know who has a gun by you being in the system.
True.
Okay? You go get a gun permit. Guess who when they start gathering up the people or the guns, they're going to be knocking on your door the first because you have a gun permit. Once they walk in that door and you're not knowing they are coming, and they're going to go, "Where's your gun? Do you have any other more guns?" And they're going to say, "No, well, we don't believe you." Handcuff you, and they're going to search your house, and they're going to search it upside down, and they're going to find whatever you have in there from other weapons, and they're going to take them.
Well, that's why you get one registered and one without. And you didn't hear that from me.
Yeah, and then you pack some in grease and put it in a can and bury it in your yard.
I know people who are doing that, who are purchasing guns, and I'm not telling you what type or where or how, and they are burying them with ammo, different locations around, underground, because
and they're not at their house.
No, and they have a feeling, this is coming around, and and they have the same feeling that I have about all this, and but what's kind of cool though is that a majority of the population in the U.S. have weapons, have guns, and I think if something was to happen, I think the Americas would revolt. The population would revolt against whatever. But you guys have to understand too, though. Let's say this starts happening, and let's just say the grid goes down or the communications go down, and you have no way of finding out what's really going on out in the world. No news, no radio, and then you have no idea what's going on. But
and you're drinking the tap water, and then you just inject something in it, and then everybody's dead.
Oh, you never know.
Most of the people.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. That's, The Walking Dead. A virus of some type. It's scary to think about this. Can it happen? Sure, it can. I don't know how you can prepare for something like this. You can't. You can't really prepare for something like this. You just have to be aware of what's going on around you in our government, and what's really happening out there, and just be aware.
Well, I don't know if you checked it, but in Facebook messages, Danny and you, we have this little thing, me and Danny and you, we post stuff all the time, usually about the show, what's coming up, or things we got to do, and I found this like 2.5 hour video all about the Illuminati and the beginnings of it and everything all the way through to, what it could be. And I put it in there and I said, it's rather long, but only really worth the listen. It only is so far out there, I can't really put it on my Facebook because everybody will blast me. I know some will be, oh man, thumbs up, and everybody else will be like, what? You're on crack. Yeah. You got to be careful on that.
I know.
Didn't used to be that way.
I know.
It is.
Some of these things that we're talking about are actually very real and true. A lot of people out there, if they even listen what we say, they're going, "You guys are nuts. Why am I listening to this crap?" But now I understand.
It's better than, like, if we tried to talk about this a year ago, or a year and a half ago, everybody would have said we were on crack.
Right.
At least now, some of the people are kind of waking up,
right?
Because the news is saying the thing about the fluoride.
Well, there you go. And I think shows like ours is putting this information in your heads out there, and you guys are going, "Jeff, you're on crack." But I'm going to go Google it anyways, and you do Google it, and all of a sudden you figure out, wait a minute, fluoride. Hitler used this in putting in their water for the people in the concentration camps to keep them, dumbed down, and that actually happened. On the bottle of a toothpaste, it says if you actually swallow a good amount of fluoride, you need to get to a medical attention immediately because of poison, because it's poison. But yet we're putting it in our mouth, guys.
See, now Texas Squatch. Now he reminded me. He says L.A. Marzulli. Research L.A. Marzulli has been working with Dr. Lear before he died regarding the implanted chips. Okay, now, that's exactly what I was doing, Texas Squatch, and only because during our TV shoot, we were sitting and talking to Ron Moorhead, and he was telling me he just got back from Peru and he was with L.A. Marzulli, okay, and then they were talking about these Nephilim. And what led him to that was Bigfoots. He found Bigfoot screaming in the woods in 1970s, and they're giants, okay? And then he started looking into giants, and then he ran into L.A. Marzulli, who's also chasing giants, but around the world, And then that's where that is the actual interview that I saw was L.A. Marzulli interviewing Dr. Lear right before he died, and L.A. Marzulli asked him, "What are the implants?" And he said they are changing the DNA. Wow. And they were calling it the mark of the beast.
Well, that's what I was going to go to.
That's what, I mean, I didn't want to go there too much because people slam me so hard. But only that's what they were calling it. And they were saying that's how they get everybody on board. The aliens come along. It's a perfect life. We're going to make you live long. We're going to give you one religion. But only then... You can't buy, sell, you can't, there's so many things you can't do without the mark, and the mark will make you live forever, but then in Revelations, when it talks about this mark, it says when Jesus comes back, everybody's going to be running and screaming and trying to die, okay, but they can't die. And nobody ever understood that. Well, why can't you die? What changed you that you can't die now?
Oh.
And Dr. Lear was saying that implant can change you where you can't die. And it was like, wow.
Now, if you took the implant out, it
already changed your DNA.
Jeez.
See, what I was tripping on was like, man, I got a little thing in my leg down here, but I don't remember ever getting abducted or anything. What if you got that and you didn't know you got it? I mean, it was without your knowledge. I mean, and then it changed your DNA. And then one of the things that tripped me out was down in the Bible, all the people that were Nephilim or got their DNA changed or whatever through, they called it sex, that God never gave them a chance. It was always die, kill the women, the children, the men, just kill the whole city, right? And they would go kill them. No, there wasn't no chance for those people. And it looks like in Revelations, anybody that takes the mark, that's it, man. There's no, like, I'm sorry, I took the mark. No, dead for you, death. And I'm like, oh, man, gee, I didn't know.
Well, I mean, you can look at that because, my religion's standard and crap like that. But, I mean...
And it's good because it's nice to have somebody
contrast,
with a different... Yeah. Uh-huh.
If you're
well, let's talk about this. Emerald doesn't believe in religion.
Well, no, I'm atheist.
You're atheist,
I don't
right.
agree with religion, but I have no belief.
Okay.
Two different things, belief and religion.
Okay.
Now, if you play this game right and you do get this mark, and I may sound conniving, which I am. I'm young and I like power.
Yeah, I love it.
You keep that mark. Now, if you can't die, you get into power. That could be what's going on right now. Well, like, if I had the mark, I'd be like, okay, well, now I can't die. What can I do to get higher and higher and higher until you start changing the game? You could have your revolution, which is probably what we're going to get sooner or later. But like you said, it's going to be those smart, strong people who are left.
Could you imagine, like, running into battle and everybody's shooting you up and you can't die?
I don't know if it goes that far.
Yeah, that's...
No, it says you can't die. It says you will not die.
But,
I mean,
well, that right there is like the freaking Walking Dead.
it would be. And it might be just like that.
You know what I'm saying?
Maybe they're telling you something with the
Walking Dead. But the Walking Dead, you know...
They're all like...
Yeah, but they're actually, you know, people are actually killing them when you chop their head off or, you know, punch their eyeballs out or whatever.
Maybe that's how you die. Is
you have to attack the brain.
like what was it, that show, the Highlanders? You know, and those guys were like immortal, and they could sense each other, and every time they killed one Highlander, then they took the energy and power from him. You know, they said,
I don't think I've ever saw that one.
That's a good one if you like sword fighting.
Sword fighting?
Yeah.
I remember that, though, but I never did really get into that. So, yeah, I mean, oh, boy. You know, the subject matter itself, you know, we can take that and go into different directions and just be on that for hours and hours.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. So, what were we even talking? Oh, the fluoride and you know, that them trying to keep us in check. You know, what's kind of weird, though, and scary, though, is that right now, a lot of the paranormal field personnel who are investigators, who are in the higher-ups, are dying, like you said.
Right, yeah, they are.
They are dying left and right. As a matter of fact...
Somebody just died. It was Alex Jones' buddy. I can't remember
really
what his name is. Yeah.
See, so they're dying left and right, guys.
It's like, hey, you just touched on the wrong subject.
Bye. Yeah, and how are they doing it? They could be parked out in a car across the street, and they have this machine, and they point it right at you, send a sound wave, stop your heart. You just died of a heart attack. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
You know.
Well, I heard they have some kind of little weapon. I think I was watching or read it on Jesse Ventura, where they could just aim at you from across the street and it like explode your heart. And that's it. You just and it's all natural, you know. When they do the autopsy, it's like,
you had an
aneurysm.
Yeah, you had a defect. You know, born with a defect, and we just never saw it. But what's you know, and well, it's kind of scary to think about that, though. Okay, so anyways, not since we really scared you guys
and me. No.
So okay, so now we talked about the plane, gave you our theories, and it's still up in the air. Seriously, the airplane is still up in the air. We have no clue where it's at.
That was a bad joke.
So, boom, boom. I'll be here next week. Thank you very much for showing up.
It was good. Yeah.
The ISIS. Let's talk about the International Space Station. They are shutting it down. Now people are going. I posted that on my wall on Facebook, and somebody said, "Oh, well, they're just cutting back on money." Really, guys? Okay, I'm gonna turn this switch right here. I'm gonna turn it off. Boop! I just saved a lot of money for the NASA. Stupid.
It runs on soul.
Yeah, they're just saving money. Come on, guys, really? It's a camera, all right? Okay. That's how gullible people are. You know, they come and they're not thinking really when they try to comment on something. Well, they're just doing it for cutbacks. Ay, ay, ay. Well, if that was cut back, then they just should get rid of the whole ISIS in the first place. What is the International Space Station really doing up there anyway? They go up there and do different type of experiments and stuff. Well, that's just money wasted right there. Yeah, well, let's turn off a little switch and save a lot of money.
Who's in there?
I don't know.
Russian and Americans. So one of the things that they're finding on that ISIS thing is that, and I mean, they're shutting it down. there's all kinds of stuff flying around.
Yeah, there is.
I mean, I was researching it and going back on videos, live stream, Ustream. You could go and you could go and sit and watch it live.
But what's happening,
and people
too,
are recording it. They figured out there's things flying around and they're recording it.
And I think what's happening though now, because the internet's so popular that before it gets out to the real world, it goes in front of another computer first. And I think what they're doing is they're splicing and they're bleeping out, but they're not getting everything.
Right.
And I think that's what's happening. They're not getting everything. Oop, I missed that one.
If they're bleeping out, wonder how much got bleeped out.
It got bleeped out. And some of these things that they're not getting, and they're just oops, that the guy could have been tying a shoe or getting some coffee, and all of a sudden this massive thing goes right through the screen. The guy misses it, and then 100, 200 people who are actually watching and monitoring that site go, whoa, and got it on DVR, and they put it on Facebook, and that's how it gets out. And finally they're going, you know what, we cannot chance this anymore. Let's flip the switch and save a lot of money. Oh gosh, that's funny.
Really, I wonder how much it was, like 20 cents. Or,
So I think there is definitely something going on up there, and something is happening where I think something major is going to happen here pretty soon. I can tell you that right now. It just, the UFO sightings are off the hook. I don't know.
So since it's like, what did you say it was? It was call in Sunday.
Call in Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, you guys, you have an opinion on it? Call in. Let's hear your opinion too. I mean, hey, that sounds like fun too.
559-287-8367. If you have an idea on the plane, if you have a theory,
or how to save more money on the ISS.
Yeah, let's call in and let's talk about it. Don't be afraid, you guys. Come on, call in, guys. So okay, we're gonna continue talking. Sacramento, there was a news story on the news about a particular propeller airplane that was flying around in circles constantly around the Concord area, I believe it was, or the Sacramento area, and people were witnessing this thing, at hours of the night and during the day. The same plane flying around in circles. That a 19-year-old decided, you know what, this is really strange. I'm going to go ahead and take it upon myself to find out why this airplane is flying around in circles. Is this some guy trying to learn how to fly and get his learner's permit? No. It happens to be the FBI has been flying around doing different circles around different areas. Now, for those who have been listening to us and watching us and following us on Facebook here in Fresno, we have a similar airplane that does that.
I was just watching it like 3 nights ago.
Okay. This airplane does the same thing around Fresno and the same locations over and over and over again. As a matter of fact, it was flying, I remember about 2 years ago, it was flying around our house. Our house.
I remember that. In the day, too.
And during the night. And Shell and I were outside, we were looking right at it, and I'm going, why is that guy circling our house? And it's constantly doing that. Now, am I saying, are they spying on me? No. But what would be, maybe they were. What would be inside this small airplane that could, I don't know, monitor? I mean, they're monitoring us already on Facebook and on, on the telephone. So why would an airplane, why would they need visual? I don't understand that.
It could be monitoring your electronics. I mean, right after you posted that, I found a post about the thieves and these little drones, and they have this thing, and they could go fly it around in your neighborhood, and they can steal all your cell phone passwords and banking information and stuff like that. This guy's flying. If he has that, he could get anything.
I see what you're saying.
What you're doing.
So he can get passwords and stuff like that.
He can monitor what you're on the internet. He can monitor what you're doing on your phone.
Break out the BB guns.
I know it was Joe Walls said, we'll just get a plane and fly above it and drop aluminum foil strips. Right in. We'll be in front of him and drop it over his plane, and it'll jam his signals.
Okay, I will go buy one tomorrow.
Yeah, and then we'll be shot out of the sky.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, well I mean there was a guy, I don't remember what town it was, but he shot a red laser beam. Yeah, and it's a federal offense.
Yes.
So I mean, you go shoot that thing with a BB gun. Bye, Jeff.
I'm only kidding. Just to let you know what Emerald's talking about. The kid, I think he was 18 or 19. He got 14 years in prison for that, just federal for pointing a laser at a sheriff's helicopter. He got 14 years in prison for that.
Well, you figure, I mean, people are complaining, oh, that's too long. Well, if that plane went down or that helicopter went down, that's lives.
Well, you know what? I don't know how much of a damage that laser could have done.
No, not to the helicopter.
Well, no. To
the
pilot, but still, the pilot. I don't know. It just. I think they were just trying to make an example out of what happened.
Well, there was another case where another kid got like 11 years, and this was a while ago.
It's crazy.
Before.
So don't purchase lasers for your kids, people. No. Period.
Only point them at Bigfoots.
So no laser pointing at airplanes, you guys, because whoever does it, they find out it's you, you're going away for a long time, and that's scary. So all right.
You know that one that was flying around here? Me and one of our followers is named Marty.
Mm-hmm.
We called around. I mean, he was doing the same thing as me. Called the airport, called the tower. I asked some of my friends that fly, and nobody knew.
Wow.
What that plane was.
That's
for
scary.
The last 2 years, we've been trying to figure it out. We go out sky watching, and then we'd see that. That would be something that we would watch.
Right.
It would be over Fresno, you know.
And that's the way it sounds.
Yeah. For hours.
Hours, yeah. Let's think about that. We have had here over Fresno, we've had NASA fly their airplanes for days and days, and they're telling us they're monitoring the pollen or the pollution, right? Okay. And literally NASA airplanes with NASA written on the side are flying around Fresno. We're just monitoring the pollution, people. That's all.
Right. Can they be any more obvious?
Okay. What if wherever there are an abundance of UFO sightings, that these airplanes are monitoring that area for like portals or some type of electronic type of interference? Because that's what I'm thinking is going on, because we have a lot of military here. We were having so much UFO activity that all of a sudden NASA shows up. Okay, remember we were, and then all of a sudden
it actually stopped.
And it stopped right about when NASA left. Okay, and then so that that kind of blew me away at that point. So all right, we got a call coming in. Yeah.
That's amazing about NASA.
Hello, who are we talking to?
Hey, this is Connie, UFO family.
Hey, Connie, what's going on?
Hey, well, I just wanted to comment on, not the airplane thing, because that has me baffled, but I just want to say that we had a blast at your taping. It was like something we've never experienced before, and I want to say thank you. Everybody was great. It was just awesome.
It was. We it turned out better than we thought it was going to turn out. Right now, and we haven't told anybody yet, but we have in our possession the rough cut of the James Fox episode, and and Alan and myself were constantly watching it over and over and over again.
I'm
Seriously,
guilty of 8 times.
And it's like we can't get enough of it, because it's so entertaining, meaning that what James Fox is talking about. Check it out, Connie. You were there. You saw the clip that he provided for us for his movie, right?
Yes.
What do you think about
those little
that?
kids?
Yeah, that didn't that blow you away?
That was awesome. That was crazy. I mean, I've never seen that before.
Right.
I mean, we get on YouTube and we look for stuff, but never seen anything like that.
I know, and it's James Fox is the guy in UFOs, and for him to, for the 44 minutes we had him on the couch, he was just nonstop on. Everybody was just memorized with all the stories he was telling, and then when he provided us with that film clip that he's going to be providing in the movie, is like, I'm literally at the very end. I had goosebumps. I was like, wow. It was awesome. And you're right. It's like, we all had a blast. I believe those 3 episodes are extremely. It's going to be 3 really good episodes.
Yes, I was telling Cheryl last week on chat that the girls, your band, the girls were awesome.
They rock.
Sitting there in high heels for like the whole duration of the entire show.
Right, and you know it's and the band. It's you know it's when I set off to find a band. I would never have thought I would find a band in our freaking backyard because these guys are from Clovis. And seriously, I'm a musician. I've been doing this a while, and I know exactly what I wanted in a house band. And here I find Possessed Tranquility, and they fit so perfect. It's not even funny. And all the guys like the girls too, so that's a benefit for us, the bass player and the guitar player.
Did you get a chance to like talk to the people around you, and how did they all like it? You know, was everybody kind of having a good time? It was hard for us to tell.
Everybody was having a good time. Yeah, I mean, the guy that was behind us, or the couple that was behind us that won the guitar. Oh my God, he could not stop talking about that. And you know, Jeff, you should have gave your mom a prize for picking out her ticket.
No, because see that's to me it's unfair.
Yeah,
it's like when family is
void.
Yes, family, and Alan can talk about that because he works in the casinos. All right, and usually when they give away cars, family members of the people who work there are not allowed to win. And it's not like I was being mean or anything. It was a book. She doesn't read books, and she doesn't read at all. She doesn't have time for that, so it would have been a waste. Okay. And try.
Yeah, but you can win, but none of our family.
Hey, I won the book last week.
That's right.
Yeah. Wow! Congratulations.
And you know what's weird is that even I think people were talking bad about because I didn't give my mom the book.
Yeah, but only how they would have talked much badder
if I would have
gave it to her.
Absolutely.
It would be then it's rigged. I mean, we already get the cuz thing.
Yeah, and then my son was the one who pulled out the ticket. Don't you think that? All right, I got it for my grandma. No, I don't think so.
Wow.
Okay.
No, that's cool. But you know what? We just wanted to call and say, you know what? We had a blast. Can't wait to do it again.
Yes, and I'm hoping it will happen again. I got a feeling it's going to happen again, and it's going to happen for a long time soon after. So
yeah, Austin has his shirt with everybody who signed his T-shirt that was on your show.
Right on.
He has it on his wall.
Sweet. Very cool. So
yes.
All right.
I want a picture.
Thank you guys. Thank
Tell
you,
him to
Emerald, and just you know what? Keep up the good work, and we're here for you. And peace out.
All right, Connie.
Have Austin take a
Bye,
picture.
Emerald.
Have Austin take a picture.
She
probably can still hear me.
They're listening. So
yeah, have Austin take a picture and put it on Facebook or something so we can have it. Or message it to us or something.
Yeah, put it on the Facebook wall. Have them, put on the shirt, take a picture of it, and put it on the Facebook wall. So,
that would be so cool.
So right on. And she's right. And again, I just basically said it for the first time, but Alan and I have a rough copy, and it's extremely rough, not edited correctly. But man, we've already had people who saw it and that are really close to us says this beats out a lot of the talk shows that are on TV right now, by far. And
I was really, when we got done, dead tired. Okay, but only the guy the production truck guy, and we're not talking about some little, pickup truck with a generator and a few cameras hooked in there. And we're talking about something that goes around and does red carpet and ESPN and
this guy
TV,
we got a very professional production company to do this for us, and he wanted to do this for us because he believed in what we were doing, and he saw that there's great possibilities that can come out of this.
Well, he said after we were all done and they're wrapping everything up, and I was letting the building hold me up outside and watching them, and he said, comes out and tells us, if you saw what I saw, you would be excited, But we didn't see that, and I was dying to see something.
Right.
And then when you got this rough cut, and we sat down and watched it the other day, and all the people in my living room were floored.
Like, wow.
Yeah, they couldn't believe their eyes, and neither could I. I wanted to watch it like 5 more times. It was that good. It was that good, and I have.
Yeah, and for those people who didn't show up, had no clue what, when we invite you guys to something that we're going to do from now on, I advise you guys really to show up, because you're going to miss out on a lot. You are. And I'm just saying that because I believe from now on, the things that we're going to do, it's going to be really exciting and worth going to. And it's going to be one of those times where if you miss it, you're going to be bummed for a long time. And a lot of people who didn't show up because they thought it was going to be a low budget, a low thing, very unprofessional, figured out the guest that we finally had and where it was shot and how it was shot, and they're kicking themselves in the butt for not showing up.
Well, I know a lot of people that I gave tickets to, and then they didn't show up, and then they saw the pictures on Facebook.
Yeah.
They're like, oh man,
Yeah.
They had some other stupid little thing to do, and really they could have been there,
right.
And they didn't.
Oh wow.
And they were kicking themselves.
Yeah.
But now all it is now is they're waiting to see, the pictures look so good and the set was like awesome, and they can't wait now for the episode.
Right.
And I told them, well, it's going to be about a year.
Well, we don't know exactly how long yet, but
could be a year.
I just found out from the editing personnel that he might be close to done by the end of next week, which means now after that he's going to put the credits into the end of the show, and then I'm going to set up a meeting with a couple of people here locally. Not that I'm going to allow them to play it. I think once they see what we have in our possession, they're going to make some phone calls immediately to Hollywood before we go to Hollywood, and I think some meetings are going to get set up.
That way they can take credit
for
finding it. Yeah.
Right.
We'll have to show Emerald after the show, probably play it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So yeah.
I'll give you the link.
Oh. So it's I'm really excited. I'm very particular in the things that I do, and very professional. And I look at it, and I'm seeing things that I could have done a lot better. Obviously, we did it at a very minimal budget, but what you saw on stage, probably to you, it didn't look like a minimal budget, but it was. Imagine if a network goes, okay, we're going to give you this amount of money, 6 figures, go and have something built. Oh my God. I have ideas in my head how I'm looking at our set already. I think it's going to be, I can't wait. And I know it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's because people are already telling us that was probably the last time I will be hauling around or renting a U-Haul truck to transport equipment and props to a different location. She said, we're done with that now.
Yep. Hard work's over.
Hard work is over. Yeah. We're done. So I can't wait. And I think Alan can't wait, and everybody can't wait, because really it's only the beginning. Granted, we've been doing this a while, but now we're going to step up a different level of what we're going to be doing now.
This is like our casual show, and we can talk about things and get really deep in it.
Right.
In the other one, it's going to be more national, and
but
you can go deep, but you can't like some of the stuff we talked about tonight probably won't fly.
Yeah, we won't be able to talk about on national TV. But what we talked, what we talked about, James Fox and Ron Moorhead are going to blow people away, because they haven't heard or seen any of that stuff at all. And I think it's once the networks see it, they're going to go, whoa, this thing needs to be put on TV now.
I want to have Ron Moorhead back. I mean, the show we did last week with Ron, all we talked about was the Bigfoot.
Right.
We didn't even get into the Peru and the big-headed, the elongated skulls and the DNA they found and all that kind of stuff. I mean, this guy is deep.
Right.
I mean, he had some stuff, and there's 3 shows on that guy.
It's hot in here.
Yeah, it's pretty warm.
Diane, can you please open up the door and pry it open for me, please? Because it is really warm in here.
I could do it.
No, that's right. Let her do it. She'll come over and do it for us right now. So, okay, I am looking now at my list, and let's talk about. So we talked about pretty much all this up here. Starbucks. Hey, let's talk about Starbucks again. Well, this is really not. Well, I don't want to say bad, but supposedly Starbucks are going to be test marketing alcohol now after 4:00 p.m. They're going to start selling alcohol.
Really? So you get your rum mocha on?
Whatever.
Well, no, they're going to do the same thing to you that they do to the coffee drinkers if you're an alcoholic.
Ooh.
What do you mean?
You know how everybody's addicted to the coffee?
Uh-huh.
They're going to get addicted to the alcohol.
Oh, that's going to make them want to come get even more. Boy, they're smart.
Man, they have Mickey. I went and I helped Mickey in his photography class.
Put it up more. Put the milk crate in the door.
I was helping Mickey in his photography class, and he was late. It was like, where's Mickey? And he comes in, and he had to stop and get his Starbucks. He's like, man, I waited 20 minutes in the drive-thru for this. Or my favorite drink. He goes, I don't go anywhere without it. And I thought, man, they got you. But
wow.
You're paying the $50 drink thing, It's awesome. Everything's awesome.
Oh, my God. So that's pretty funny. If that doesn't tell you what they're really trying to do to you, is get you addicted to their product, and alcohol is another way of getting you addicted.
Well, alcohol's already addictive.
Oh, absolutely.
That brings a whole new level to I'll have the mocha with a double shot. Usually it's cappuccino, right. Double shot.
You know what, though?
I'll take 2 extra shots.
You're going to see cops, police officers parked right around the corner, and you guys are going to be drinking alcohol. I smell alcohol in your breath. That's going to be nasty stuff there. There's going to be a lot of people getting pulled over.
Especially in Clovis.
DUI, yeah. Big time.
Dodge City, that's where you dodge the cops.
So Starbucks and alcohol, don't tell me they're trying to get you addicted. So, all right. The next thing that has been really off the hook is the earthquakes on the Ring of Fire.
They are.
They have just been rocking back and forth. So having a lot of earthquakes is actually a good thing because that releases the stress on the faults. If it was completely quiet for a long period of time, then I would be stressing. But since we're getting a lot of these small ones and big ones, that's a good thing. But it still can be a signal that a bigger one is coming. We don't know.
Well, I lived in L.A. in 70s. Okay, early, 70. And in 71, they had a really big quake. And, they were up to, it was like a 8.0 or something like that. It was a big one. But only for 7 months or 8 months, we were getting the 4.8, the 5.2, 4.7. And then, it was it started off once a week, twice a month. And then pretty soon it was escalating, and it would be 3 a day.
Oh, that's what's happening right now.
And then all of a sudden, it wasn't like they had one big earthquake and tore everything up. It built up, and then one morning at 5 o'clock in the morning, it was, ripping your house apart. And then that wasn't the end of it. It ripped your house apart, and there's cracks in the walls and everything, and the floors are all bubbled up in old wooden floors. And then they started going down. It went back, there was a 5.7 and then a 4.8 and a 5.1, and it kept doing that all the way for and then it was time to move. We were like, man, we're getting out of this shaky city. Move back to Fresno. But it shook like crazy. So I actually think it's going to build up to a really big one. I don't think they're done. I really don't.
I think you're right. I'm just trying to find some stuff to play here on my phone. I should have just put it. No, that's right. We'll worry about that later.
Sure, play it.
No, I had to find it and stuff.
But yeah, the earthquakes. I think it's building up to a really one that'll be big, and then it'll go down, like what they call aftershocks.
Aftershocks, yeah. I think it's building up for a bigger one. But I'm not trying to scare you or nothing like that. That's just so don't worry about that. So all right. Oh boy, okay, we have 20 minutes left. Actually, probably about more like 15 or 16 or 17 minutes. So
my sister's deadly afraid of earthquakes after living there like that.
Really?
Yeah.
You know who's afraid? Also, is Danny's wife. She's afraid of earthquakes big time too. Remember when we were coming back from?
Oh, I remember Bigfooting.
Yeah.
We're out
No.
footing.
We was there. We're coming back from Santa Cruz from the Belton,
yeah, okay.
and we were actually literally right on the actual fault line when it hit. And I remember because my truck went to the right, and I'm going, why is my truck moving?
I remember that. And his wife felt it.
And she freaked, and she calls you.
Yeah, Danny's sitting there on the phone. Everything's okay, but I can't be there.
Right. So, and then
I'm 2 hours away.
People have phobias, and that is a major phobia a lot of people have, and not good to have one. But have that phobia, especially if you're living where we live in California. So, but unfortunately, that's just So.
Yeah, it's amazing that the audience doesn't have want to chime in on some of this stuff.
Come on, people, call in.
When I put a post on Facebook, they're all over it.
No
man.
kidding.
You
Yeah,
know, they're putting their opinion out, but you tell them, hey, call in and tell us your
a lot
opinion.
of people. A lot of people are scared.
It's like, I forgot your number. No.
People are.
My finger
they get phobias
work.
of actually talking in front of a lot of people, even though they're on the phone.
Well, there's 20 listeners. Come on. No, I'm just kidding.
No, there's a lot more than that.
Yeah, I don't want to scare you, but it's all over the world now.
Yeah.
It really is.
So it's very cool. Anything that we are leaving out? I'm going through my notes right now to see if I forgot.
Just
anything.
the other night, back on the earthquake thing, since that's where we left off, I been getting people talking about dreams, lots of dreams. I don't know about you guys out there in Radio Land or out there. People are coming to me and messaging me dreams, or they come to my house and tell me about dreams. And I had one night before last at 3 o'clock in the morning, messaging with a friend and Nitro Joe. And he said he had a dream. He was on an island, and he's an islander. He's from Hawaii. And he said that he was in the hotel lobby, and the place started to shake. And he knew he was in the islands because he heard the dialect of the people talking, but he didn't know what they were saying, but he knew the dialect was some island. And he said that it really started to shake really hard, and it was actually raising the floor up and making it hard to walk. And then the waves started coming in, really big waves, so they were all running for high ground, and everybody was screaming in this dialect that he couldn't understand. And the ground was lifting up, like really lifting up, making, knocking them down and stuff so that they couldn't run. And then he asked me, what do you think it means? It's like,
earthquake?
There's going to be an earthquake somewhere in an island, I don't know, maybe, but only, I told him, the Ring of Fire is waking up, really waking up. And maybe he's had a dream that there's going to be a really big earthquake on some island, because most of the islands are the Ring of Fire.
And those islands have volcanoes.
Oh boy!
And that could be a definite scenario that we have something massive coming up, because a massive earthquake, and then the volcano is going to.
It freaked him out. I mean, really freaked him out. He still wants to come over, and meet somewhere so we could talk about it. I guess there's more to it, about this earthquake thing.
And was talking with Joe and from Nitro, and actually he just messaged me, and I think he is also going to be sponsoring an event, and it's going to be in July. It's anime. Is that what it's called? Anime type of deal.
Cool.
They're going to have it at the Manchester Center on the second floor. And we're going to be setting up a booth and doing promotions. So it's actually a free event. It's second floor of the Manchester Center in July. Just keep watching us, and we'll keep you informed. But it's an anime type of event. They're going to have booths. They're going to have raves at nighttime, concerts, all that kind of stuff. And we're been asked to set up a booth there and promote ourselves. And we're going to go ahead and do it.
Yay.
For both days, Saturday and Sunday. I believe it's just third week of July. So, I don't think my stepson has heard about that, but he's going to be gung-ho. There's going to be for all you guys, there's going to be a lot of cute girls with a lot of short dresses. Just think the Fast and Furious #1, when they're in the underground parking lot, and all those little girls, and So all you guys are going, no way, I am so going. Well, I'm telling you right now, that's what it's going to be like, because my stepson went last year to the one at the convention center, and he said he's speechless. So.
Well, I'm also working on one. I'm almost positive we're going to be in it.
Oh,
but only Art, my nephew, that they're doing a tattoo.
The tattoo convention.
A 2-day event at the convention center.
Right.
And he asked if we wanted a booth, and I told him yeah. And then now he's off running around doing.
He's on tour right now with.
Bill Manspeaker and Green Jellyvision or whatever. They're out. So they've been to 3 cities, and I messaged him, but hey, he's too busy being Chicken Little or whatever it is, Super Chicken. He's all dressed up like something Super Chicken guy.
So that's cool. If we do get to be at the tattoo convention, then it's time for me to get another tattoo, and I think this one's going to be a Bigfoot. So
I thought about getting a tattoo. I think I'll just have him draw one, and then I can wash it off later.
Whatever. So, and I don't know if a lot of people don't know this, but and you can't see it, but I have an alien and a UFO on this arm here, and I plan to put the Bigfoot on the other arm.
Oh, you have our logo on it. Well, our initials, SPS.
Oh, SPS. Yeah, that was a ways ago. So can you see that? Yeah, whatever. You can't see it, so it doesn't matter.
It's the gun show. No.
Oh, God.
There is no guns there. So yeah, and then the other side is gonna be the Bigfoot. So we'll see what happens.
Everybody, show your guns.
So yeah, that's a couple of things that we have possibly planned, and I think actually the Anium thing will happen. That's already a guaranteed slot. We're there for July. So for those who want to show up, go ahead and show up. We will be there. Now, as far as a lot of people have been hitting us that, I want to see these episodes. I want to see these episodes. I want to see these episodes. I cannot give you an actual time when these things.
No way.
I can't at this point in time. The reason why we shot these in the first place was basically to get us a bigger gig, to get us picked up. And we're going to shop these around. The pilot that we did about 6 months ago, it was okay. It was a good, a good first time shooting what we wanted to put out. And
it was kind of like a training thing.
Yeah, it was definitely.
Really.
Yeah.
I mean, even though we thought it might have been something that really let us walk through the process and then polish it to what we could do this time.
Last time it got played on TV. It was put on a time slot that I was not happy with, and I think what's going to happen is we are going to play maybe one of these episodes, hopefully all 3, but we better get a better time slot than 12 midnight, to be honest. So, but I think it's something going to happen major before that, though, and we shall see what happens. But don't expect anything right away as far as being on TV. Again, if you didn't show up, then you obviously missed out, and I'm sorry. But
hopefully we'll be doing it again soon.
Well,
really soon.
Well, what Alan is saying is by doing it again, meaning that it's going to be
like
an ongoing.
Regular.
It's going to be an ongoing thing, meaning you will be seeing us on TV on a weekly basis. I'm shooting for daily, and I'm hoping that we can convince them that that's going to be the case. That we can go Monday through Friday, 44-minute show, because it's not that we're just talking about the Fresno area and where we live. We're going to be talking about worldwide events, and it's not just about paranormal. It's about everything. We're investigators, so we will be investigating. The camera trucks will be following us to different locations. If this production company is hired to go with us, we have our own satellite production truck, guys. That's what showed up at the site to do this show last, March 9th. He actually can go on site anywhere, put up the satellite, and shoot a feed live anywhere. That's what we had there.
So we could be doing, say, a ghost thing somewhere, and that truck can be there, uplink, and then we can actually interview the people at that what they're doing, the investigation, live.
We could have a scenario go down like a live Bigfoot just got killed or whatever. We can send the truck go.
Send your investigation team.
Team, go.
And you're the leader.
Yeah, and you're going to go.
You're the
go.
boss.
We'll send you, here's money, go. Go find out what's going on. And that's what you guys are going to end up doing. So we have, different cases and different scenarios, and we have things that we have ready to do. As soon as they give us the okay and the budget, then we're going to do it. And you guys are going to want to see every episode because, like I said, the 3 episodes that we shot on March 9th, oh my God, I still see that I look at the episode every day, just about.
I'm guilty of 3.
Conceited.
I mean, I know it is good, and you know what it is.
Well, usually we're trying to pick it apart. Like the next time, what could you do next time
Right.
that's better? So far, there ain't much to do better on this one.
All it is that
a better set.
A better
that
set
comes with money,
right?
Right.
But I love the way James Fox was expressing his love for ufology, and his love for what he's doing, his stories that he told while he was on the couch, and then when he showed that clip that he's going to be,
I have that clip on there.
Oh, I don't know. We're not going to show it. No. That's something to wear. No,
a little tease.
No,
I have it on the computer.
No. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That is going to. That's when you see the episode on TV. People are going to go.
Yeah, that is true because it's really good.
Literally, I get goosebumps
when you hear that movie is coming out. You want to make sure you go see that movie.
Well, you know
it's going to be really good.
What we're going to do is I am going to make sure that we have a screening here in Fresno. That
would be great.
That is going to be a must, and I don't be surprised if we have it at the Crest Theater.
Oh, that would be great.
I guarantee you that's going to happen. I guarantee you that's going to happen.
How is she doing? Were you able to go?
No, I'm going tomorrow morning. Tomorrow after work to get the stuff finally.
Okay.
So I'm going to meet her there at 4:30. So if you want to show up, it's up to you. But I'm just going to drive over there and whatever's left, throw in the back of the truck. So.
Dang, I got a doctor's appointment.
Like I said, it's just going to be really quick. I'm just going to load everything back in and go. That's it. So all right. How much time do we have, Emerald?
You have about 8 minutes.
8 minutes.
8 minutes.
What are we leaving out? Oh boy, I think I just about talked about everything.
I think we're missing a few calls from people.
Yeah, it's too late for that now. So, again, I want to thank Art Bell, Dark Matter Network,
and Keith Rowland.
For
you guys rock.
For actually allowing us to be broadcasted on your network. Our website is getting hits like we've never had ever. We're getting, notifications from people all over the world because of the artbell.com and the Dark Matter Network. You're welcome. So, cool. And it's back in the days, I used to stay up and I used to listen to Art Bell. And let me tell you something. How I didn't miss Art Bell is I had a VCR, and those tapes usually tape 6 hours, right? Mm-hmm. So I actually plugged my stereo into the inputs of the VCR, and I used to tape the whole show before
record the audio.
I record the audio.
That's smart.
On the VCR tape, and I used to have archives of VCR tapes, and I used to watch them. I mean, not watch them, but listen to them. That's how I recorded, because on a cassette you can only do an hour, 90 minutes tops. Yeah. So while I was asleep, you couldn't get up at 90 minutes and turn it around and hit record. So that's what a VCR was for. So that's how I used to record Art Bell back in the days, on a VCR. See, I'm smart.
See, I was the other guy. I was out in my car. I would get me a big cup of coffee, and I had my own ranch. I had a ranch up in the hills, so like it was dark and scary, and you're sitting there, in the dark, and you could hear the owl going, ooh, ooh, ooh. And Art Bell talking about scary stuff, and I would sit there and absolutely scare the crap out of myself.
Looking out of the windows, and thought that's funny.
I don't know how many times, there was like 20-yard, distance from my truck to the front door, And I would fly, man. I would hop out of my truck and I would be dashing over to the get in the house, slam the door. Because Art Bell would scare me that bad.
Freaking chicken. But you know what? That's what I liked about Art Bell, is because he didn't give a crap what anybody thought. And
he had some good stuff.
Yeah,
like you remember the one where he got knocked off the air?
Yes, I remember that.
That was my favoriteest one. I mean, here he is talking to this guy, and they're going to triangulate on me, Art. And he's like sobbing and everything. All of a sudden, gone. Yep. And he comes back on. That's the most amazing thing. We never had that happen. They blew up our transformer, right? I mean, his transmitter blew up. He's like, that never happened in all my years, you know. Yeah. So it makes you wonder, was that guy really did, you know, were they triangulating on him? That's the best one I ever heard. And then Hell's Hole. Even though that turned out to be fake, it was still scared the shit
you know what?
out of me.
And I think that's one of the reasons why they got him off the air, to be honest.
Oh, yeah, because he was good.
Because he was good, and he was bringing out what was really going on, and they had to stop him somehow. So they took him away from what he loved the most.
Well, I think he kind of was retiring, but I don't think he intended on getting screwed over by him. You know, that I always got mad about that. I mean, here's the grandfather of paranormal, the guy that started it all and made it popular, and then they screw him.
Right. And you know what? That's Mitchell, the owner of the production company. When I told my buddy to tell him about what I had planned, and I told him, oh, by the way, just tell him that we are on the artbell.com Dark Banner Network. And he told him that, and the guy goes, he's a big Art Bell fan, and he goes, oh shit, I am doing that. So in a heartbeat, if you guys are on Art Bell, I am so going to be the production truck. So because of we're on his network, and it's opened up in a lot of doors, and again, are we kissing your ass? Yeah, we are, Art. Okay. All right, it's as simple as that. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, dude, come on. I mean, it's really, when I tell people you can listen to us on the artbell.com website too. Seriously? Yeah.
I never even thought about doing that.
Just like a major fanboy.
Yeah. I am. Trust me, I am. I mean, like I said, I used to record all this stuff on VCR tapes. That's how goober I am. So, okay. Well, anyways.
Yeah, he's always been my favorite. Like, when he started dropping those little hints that he was going to come back, and he made that little code, oh, man, I was so, overjoyed. And then when I found out I had to buy a subscription, then I was like, oh, man, I am, the brokest, poorest guy in the world, Right. After paying all my bills, I got $8, and it was more than $8. It was like, oh man, what do I do?
Give him time. I mean, I think 2015.
He's going to come back.
15, I think I heard. So we'll see what happens if
he'll be back, and I can't wait.
So
still.
All right, I think that's pretty much it for us tonight. I believe I'm looking at Emerald, and she's giving me how many minutes? So we got left to go. 1 minute.
1 minute.
So there you go. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to clock out of here. And thank you for showing up tonight, and appreciate it much. For Emerald and Alan and myself, I want to say thank you much. Keep your eyes to the skies, and I hope you witness something that you cannot explain.
If you do, call us on the UFO hotline number.
That's right. So, all right, you guys. See ya. Peace out.
You have been listening to Paranormal Central with Jeffrey Gonzalez and Alan Thomas, broadcasting worldwide at paranormalcentral.net and on artbell.com. Stay tuned for next time. Remember to keep your eyes to the skies, and we hope you witness something you cannot explain.
I'm looking for you. You're looking for me. We have to decide what it will be. Can it be true? Can I believe?